Leo or Leo Crosswatcher. Thank you guys for being here with me. Let's go ahead and do a message for you guys. I went to do your message last night actually, and I just felt like it wasn't it. It wasn't it. It didn't feel right. And I know that this one is right. I've had plenty of time to sleep, to rest. Some of you, there's such a transformation going on in your life right now. And if you're not resonating with that, I'm telling you, it's coming. It's a very positive one. It's one in which you are going to embrace and be very happy once this starts happening for you. You know what I mean? But in the meantime, you could be really tired. You could be feeling maybe even achy, because like my upper back is aching right now. My back was fine before I sat here and started this video, like totally fine. I have back issues sometimes. It depends on what I'm sitting in too. My back's been fine all morning until just now, so I know that it's for somebody watching this. Tension, maybe even a little bit of just, I don't know if it's moments of agitation, moments of pure exhaustion, fatigue, if it's a little anxiety. It could be different for everybody, but rest is important, and some of you may not be at the place where you're able to do that because you could be so busy, you could have so much going on, and that's understandable. But I do want to get into this message. I love this. I'm really glad I waited. I'm glad. Some of you may be glad that something happens when it happens, like at the time that something was put off or seemed to kind of just drag on forever, or seemed to be like delayed for a later date or something like that. Whatever that is, some of you are going to see why, when it actually does come to pass, why it was better that it happened at that time than before. All right. So, Leo or Crosswatcher, you have had your time with something. Whatever it is, you are not only ready for something else to happen, but you could be emotionally welcoming a new adventure or new challenges. And I gave some examples here. So basically, you know when you're pregnant, and not everybody experiences this, but I definitely did with both my pregnancies. I'm more of a person that enjoys labor, oddly enough. I actually really enjoyed labor. I was really excited for labor, and I would get pregnant over and over again just to give birth. Like I would have been a great surrogate. I love labor. Pregnancy, not so much. Can't stand pregnancy. But I just don't, to each their own. But anyway, when you reach that final trimester or whenever, I mean, sometimes the baby comes unannounced. But if you carry to full term and you go to the very end, a lot of times you're ready. You are ready for that baby to come out. Because one, you're probably not sleeping that well. There goes the back issues. Your back's probably hurting. You're tired, fatigued. Some of you could be pregnant, or someone is, or something. It could be reversed. But either way, you know what I'm talking about? Where it's like, I'm ready for this stage of my motherhood to be over. I'm ready to meet my baby. I'm ready to hold my baby, Although you're not being unrealistic here. It's not like you're like, okay, once I give birth to this baby, all of life challenges and all of this pain that I'm experiencing and this discomfort through this pregnancy is going to be gone. No, it's going to come back. You're just going to experience it in a different way, and then the whole 9 yards till the baby's 18, and then after, because once you're a mom, you're always a mom. You know what I mean? Is you always have that connection. And so it's kind of like that. Like it's a graduation of sorts is what I'm getting at here. When I say that you've had your time with something, it doesn't mean that it could be different for everybody, I guess, in what way you're ready to emotionally get away from something and just done with it. Either way, it's that graduation to the next level that you're welcoming, you're accepting, and you are, I want to say past ready for. You're just ready to get it going. You're ready to get it going, get it moving. Some of you, it's a business thing. Another example that I wrote down is like when we're in high school, if we reach to the full 12th grade, let's say we go to 12th grade, just an example, we're ready. Okay, we're done with school. That's why they call it like senioritis or something like that, where like seniors don't want to go to school anymore, and they have to give them incentives, and they have to give them things that make them want to show up and like finish their classes. And because the kids are either ready to take a whole year off before they go to college, or if they choose to go to college, that's up to each individual child. And some are just ready to start their life, especially in the world we live in today. I know a lot of kids now are thinking, God, like, everything's so expensive. How am I going to be able to support myself and pay how expensive rent is if I don't get a start on it as soon as I get out of school? So a lot of people are dual enrolling. Like their last year of school, they're doing both, Either way, whatever route an individual chooses to take. Let's say it's where you go the full 12, you go to the 12th grade. You're right there and you got only a couple of months left. You are emotionally done at that point. Like, you look back, you realize how far you've come. You're at that final push, really, and you're just ready for it to kind of be over with. I mean, it's bittersweet. Just like the pregnancy thing, it's bittersweet. At least when you're pregnant, you know the baby's inside of you, and so the baby is fully protected. But when that baby comes out, anything can happen. I mean, anything can happen with the baby inside. But going back to the pregnancy thing real quick that I didn't think of when I was talking about it, when I was pregnant, I experienced that. Like, I felt safer for my children when they were in me than when my babies came out. Because then I was like, oh God, there's so many worse things. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. This is not somebody being unrealistic. You're not being unrealistic. You understand life has challenges, and that whatever is going to come after this transformation, this transition, this change, it is not going to be a walk in the park. Everything presents new challenges and new experiences, but you're ready for it. You could say you've grown a little weary of what you've been experiencing so far. You're just done. That's okay. And it could be anything. We'll cover a couple things. Again, it's not you being to where you're like, oh, well, this phase or that stage is something that's over and everything will be just peachy. And there's also an emphasis here for somebody, not for everybody. But when I wrote that down and I said, it's not you thinking everything will just be peachy, like you understand there's more challenges, even if you don't know what they'll be. How could you know if you've never been there? It's something new. When I wrote peachy, that word was standing out to me. So something to do with peaches or peach, maybe even Princess Peach, but that's for somebody here, confirmation. What this is simply, I know there will be new challenges with every new chapter, every turn of life's page, but I'm certainly ready for the unknown now. I'm ready to grow further and have something more emotionally fulfilling. Whatever stage, phase, or even whoever you may be letting go of emotionally, moving forward from, accepting the expiration. Also, emphasis on expiration dates. That's significant for somebody. Maybe even check the expiration dates of something in your pantry or all things in your pantry. If there's something to do with expiration date here, just another side note there. Whatever stage you're at in a particular area of your life, or even with a particular individual or with something in general, you're ready for the page to turn. You're ready for something different. You could say you're kind of over it. You're kind of over something. Yeah, that's okay to say. You're almost leaving with a sense of hope, is what I wrote. No matter what happens next, no matter what you encounter or endure or come across or whatever, you're kind of like, I'm just done. I'm just ready. I relate. I don't know anybody that wouldn't relate to that. We've all experienced that in different forms and areas of our life and with different people and things. So now for some of you, will this be bittersweet? Like we mentioned, yes, I think it's already been bittersweet for some of you. It's been very hard. It's been extremely difficult, and that could be an understatement. Could have been even for some of you emotionally taxing, draining. Yeah, so I think it's going to be bittersweet. Some of you, it's not going to be bittersweet. You're going to be like jumping up and down to move on to the next thing. Like, yay, but some it will be bittersweet. It's kind of like, oh, damn, but it's, may have a little bit of a cry or something or several, and that's also fine too. But it's kind of like when the baby is ready to be born, the baby's going to be born. When the sun wants to rise, the sun is going to rise. You're ready. You're ready to rise. I'm hearing a song by Dixie Chicks where she goes, I'm ready to run. So this could be anything from graduating from one thing to the next. Maybe some of you actually graduating, maybe some of you giving birth to that baby, maybe some of you leaving one job for the next. But this could even be letting go of things like divorce, like letting go of people. Divorce, breakups, false hope. Holding on to something being a potential, but it never really was. It was like in and out and in and out, and it was just like somebody dangling a carrot. Some of you are going to be letting go of that. Some of you could be letting go of people due to passing, where not letting go, but just where it emotionally isn't fucking with you as much anymore as it did. And that is not to diminish that you very much love that person and very much care for that person. It's just that maybe even it's a sign from the individual, the spirit, the soul of that person. Like, I want you to move on. I want you to keep going. It's very emotional, actually. I felt that tug at me. Woo! I don't want you to be like this forever. I want you to live. Keep living. I'm right here with you. I'm just not in the physical, Some of you, it's moving, and that's kind of either it's bittersweet or you're excited. Like, I can't fucking wait. Oh my God. I cannot wait. Some of you, it's a physical thing, like a health thing. I can't wait to lose this weight. I can't wait to get healthy. I can't wait for this, I actually went through this. I can think of so many examples, actually, when I decided to go to rehab, when I decided to quit smoking, when I decided to quit self-harming, when I decided to be celibate. I mean, just different stages of my life, where it's like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to face. I don't know what's going to happen next. I'm sure I'm going to have, more experiences and challenges, of course, but I've seen, like, it's almost like I'm emotionally just ready to let go. I don't know how else to say it. I don't want to like keep on going in circles with this, but I think the message is across now, that I totally understand if you're resonating with this message, that you've reached your peak with something. You've reached you're ready. And honestly, it's only when you're ready. It's not when anyone, this is your life. This is your journey, your personal life. It's not going to happen when someone else is ready. It's going to happen when you're ready. So you had to be on board with this and emotionally be ready to move forward for this to be possible, and you are. It's like a state of change that is being acknowledged as inevitable and embraced, no matter the uncertainty of what new ordeals we will encounter next. This human experience is about change after all. Another year older, and so on and so on. For some of you, this can even be, especially for those of you dealing with a very vengeful person or vengeful people, if it's more than one, where you're making a conscious decision to not let something bother you anymore, whether you still have to deal with the particular individual or if it's more than one, or whether, they're kind of out of the way, but they still try to make your life hell and like indirectly affect you. You're choosing to consciously like not let it bother you. Like you're like, I'm in control of how I handle this or something, or how it affects me, and you're not letting it, which is power. That's power, at least not in the way that you were letting something affect you, or a person affect you, or what they do or what they're doing. You're not letting it bother you anymore, or this is reversed and this is how somebody else is doing it. It's like, nope. Kind of like cutting the emotional connection to it, In other words, it's like you're taking the higher road, the higher ground, instead of choosing to engage in anything that doesn't align with where you're headed. Power. So meanwhile, if you do have anyone who's trying to make things difficult for you, or just whatever, thorn in your side, or just maybe not directly, but tries to be, either way, you realize that by giving it your energy, it's slowing you up, and it's causing your focus to be there where your focus could be on something you do want now, and something you're really focusing on. You know what I mean? You're just done. I can't say it any other way. Even if you get pushback, now some of you may get pushback, because a lot of times when people feel that something isn't bothering you anymore, or that they're not getting to you, or when they see that nothing that they do is affecting you, sometimes they'll push back harder, at least initially. And you might encounter that for some of you, but I don't see you letting it stop you. I don't see, which is power. I mean, I really don't see you letting something get to you if you do end up getting pushback from people who are just like, I mentioned this in Gemini's message, like they just have to. Like some of you, maybe it's a difficult ex or somebody you're moving on from, leaving, or, maybe you get a little pushback, whether they do it to you or they try to like do it publicly to ruin your reputation, or try to make people hate you, or try to, send little passive aggressive things, or post little passive aggressive things. It's kind of like, it's fine. Like you're not going to let it eat you alive. It may come to your attention, your awareness. You may hear of it, you may see it, it may directly come to you, and then you move on. You're kind of like, that Rain-X stuff? I don't know what it's called. I think it's Rain-X, and you spray it on or you like rub it into your windshield on your vehicle so that when it rains, the rain just beads up and falls off. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool little invention. It's kind of like you. It's like you have this film over you, this protective layer, this it's like this violet light or something. Like you have this field, this force field around you, and you're consciously keeping it there and putting it there every day you wake up and every day you go to sleep, because you're focused. You're not letting anything get you off of focus. Like your eyes are set on the end goal. Now, whatever this is, we went over several different examples. Whatever this is that you are emotionally deciding and consciously deciding to not let it affect you because you're ready to move forward, not let it affect you as deeply as it might have already been or you thought that it would, whatever that be, or whoever, if it's an individual or more than one, I think you're going to be very successful. I think you're not only going to be very successful, I think you're going to be extremely proud of yourself and very happy. And if this isn't your message, this is somebody around you. It could be a child of yours, a best friend of yours, a family member, a coworker, stranger online, that you see that's been able to do this, or they're doing this right now, and it can be encouraging to you. Vice versa. You may be encouraging to another and you have no clue even, but it's because you're able to do that after everything that you've emotionally had to go through and not let it control your life. Not let it slow you up. If you were fixed on anything before, you are now being fixed on something else, a new path, something different, and that's entirely beautiful. So we can go now. Wow, we can go now. I usually don't say it like that, do I? I usually say, all right, well, I think that's it. No, I'm like, sure, it's it. We can go now. Some of you want somebody to let go. It's like, I just want you to let go now. That is not for everybody, but that is coming through strong right here at the end, and I did not write that down. I've already reached the end of the paper, just like you've reached the end of your rope with a person. That's for whoever that's going to resonate for. I'm done. I'm already at the end of it. You're at the end of your rope with somebody, and you just would like them to kind of let you go now. It's like, let me go. Just let me go. That doesn't mean they will. And if it's not let you go, there could be something that you want a person to let go of. You want them to just let go, either for their own benefit, for everybody else's benefit, or something that's like, just let go or let it go. Some of you may be dealing with a person or know a person, or this could be reversed where someone holds on to something like a grudge, and you could be like, why don't you just let it go? And it's not being insensitive to something here. It's like, seriously, unless you want to stay there forever in that energy. Do you hear that vehicle outside? It's like construction, somebody doing the inner construction on themselves in their life and ready to almost like be put back out there in the world or something. But okay, now we go. Thank you guys for being here with me, and I'll talk to you later. I really, really enjoy this message, Leo or Crosswatcher. Thank you.